Welcome to the instructional video series on the two-variable cost allocation calculator from National RTAP. The cost allocation calculator allows users to allocate or fairly distribute an agency's operational costs by routes or services, modes, service area, type of service, sponsor type, and primary funding source using a two-variable methodology. The calculator also enables users to sub-allocate cost for shared ride demand responsive service across different sponsored transportation contracts. The calculator provides the operational cost as well as performance measures in summary tables for each of the categories just mentioned, including routes, modes, service area, types of service, types of sponsors, primary funding source, and individual sponsors. The calculator also allows users to produce cost allocation results and reports for a given fiscal year period and compare costs for routes or services across multiple fiscal years. Before using the calculator, users need to gather data such as characteristics about each route or service data, total operational expenses from a chart of accounts, financial data, hours and miles for each route or service, operational data, and their funding sources. The calculator is meant to be used for operational cost only and should not include capital expenses such as asset purchases. The calculator is oriented to enter financial and operational data for a single fiscal year period and then stores cost allocation results for each fiscal year. Subsequent videos will discuss the calculator outputs and reports available to generate. The two variables used by the calculator to allocate operational costs are vehicle hours and vehicle miles. This flowchart provides a simplified example of how costs are allocated in the calculator for multiple services. First, expenses are assigned to categories of variable cost or fixed cost. Examples of fixed costs include costs associated with items like administration and facility maintenance. Variable costs typically include items like fuel, vehicle maintenance, and driver pay. The proportion of vehicle hours or vehicle miles is used to determine the proportion of variable costs allocated to the various routes or services. Next, the proportion of variable cost is used to allocate fixed costs to the routes or services. The subtotals of variable cost and fixed cost are then added together to get the total allocated cost for each route or service. For sponsored services, the calculator uses passenger hours and passenger miles data to sub-allocate cost for a service across different local sponsors. Although optional, revenue hours, revenue miles, and passenger trips can also be entered into the calculator. These values are used to generate performance measures, which are included in the reports. The calculator is available in two application versions for Microsoft Access or Excel. Both versions provide the same basic functionality, and both are based on the two-variable allocation method. You will need MS Excel to download and run the Excel version, but you do not need MS Access to download and run the Access version. If this is the case, simply download Microsoft Access 2016 Runtime or the Office 365 Access Runtime extension, using one of these links or searching for the right extension you need on Microsoft's website. This is the navigation menu for the Access application. From the navigation menu, you can access the 4 steps for data entry and results. Step 1, enter service data. Step 2, enter financial data. Step 3, enter operational data. And Step 4, run cost allocation. Beneath each step in the calculator, the status row shows the number of services entered, the total amount of cost entries entered, the number of services with operational data entered, and finally whether the allocation step has been run. The status windows will update automatically as new data is added or edited. After these 4 steps are completed, you can use the calculator to produce reports for 2 time periods: the active year reports for the results in the current fiscal year, or the historical year reports for reviewing and comparing results from different fiscal years. In Excel, these reports are named the single year and multi-year reports respectively. The navigation menu indicates which reports are available for review and printing. The applications also allow you to export, edit, or delete data through database management tools available on the navigation menu or within each data entry step. Subsequent videos in this series will demonstrate these tools and functions in more detail. For more information about the calculator background, see the instruction manual available on the National RTAP website.